We came up from the south pass of Whakarava because there's a festival going on for Bastille Day, but it's pretty much a flat, calm day, so the kids all decided they'd like to try and surf off the back of the boat. So we attached the surfboards and did that as we're motoring up, and then obviously the adults needed to have a go as well, so we did it too, just to prove that we could still do it.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing home.
Full power! It's mutiny.
Ready?
It's mutiny! It's jumping ship. Stay away from the... Neutral!
So this is a method of anchoring we've not done before, because there's these bommies, these coral growths in areas. We don't want the chain getting caught one or rubbing, so you tie fenders along your chain to try and float your chain, and it also stops destroying the coral as well. That's quite important. The boys got to play around with IHA's electric engine, and I think they were quite impressed.
Things are awesome. We definitely need to get one. You can go fast, neutral, and forward, and it's 4 knots. It's like the best. I love it. Forward.
Quiet.
We've arrived in the north part of the island now, ready for the festival, but the problem is, we knew this was coming. There's this big storm that's been brewing and sort of playing out in the Southern Ocean, and it's now moved up, and obviously it's not as bad as it was down there, but it's pretty bad up here. So we've got strong winds gusting, you know, over 20 knots, and we also have swell inside this atoll because it's such a massive atoll. There's like 30 miles of it, so the swell is just built up to the north where we are, and so all of us here are just hanging on with our anchors and our snubbers and our floating chains, just hoping that the snubbers and chains don't break, and not really able to get in for the festival because even the D dock, there's like waves crashing over the D dock there, so you can kind of possibly do a drop off, but whether you get back again is a different story. Yeah, especially we've only got our 2.3 horsepower engine, so I'm not even sure whether we really could go out in that anyway. So yeah, it's quite harsh out here, and but also the other thing we've got to do is we're trying to think about when to leave for Tahiti, so we're thinking about that as well because we need to go there because Grandad's arriving, but this storm is playing out for the next few days, and Saturday, when we should be leaving really, it's still got some of it, the tail end of it, so that's another thing we're trying to plan at the same time. Life on a boat. Weather is not going to stop Ewan having a play date with his friend.
So we've just acquired a new neighbour. It's the Expedition Your Arctic, which is owned by James Packer, which is Kerry's Packer's son, and it's just pulled up on the anchorage, and I think it's been to Bora Bora. It's been on a luxury charter, and just see the crew getting ready, and one of the support boats is just anchored 2 boats away from here. So we're in the super yacht billionaires playground at the moment.
So later on the swell died down and we did manage to get into the festival. festivities, which was calmer than we thought it would be, there's also, you know, some memorials of people that have passed away in the last year as well. Following on from the festivities last night, the kind of competition talent show thing, we are now off to the sports hall, to the basketball centre, to go and see some fruit races. Here we are at the festivities. This is javelin throwing for the ladies here, and so we've all decided we're going to have a go as well. And this guy said, yeah, we can have a go up to them. We're going to learn how to do it. Oh, yeah, right. I don't want to be cursed. And where you going to do that?
When your hair's rolling.
It was very cool. You don't throw it like you think you would.
Normally I remember javelin you do that, but with this one, yeah, you have to kind of bend it and then do a thing. But it's good fun. I want to do more.
Mum, you did great.
Wow, amazing. I don't know how to. I feel like it would be easy just throwing it like that. I don't
Nearly hit the coconut.
Going up behind it.
Let's go.
Want to go first?
The wounded to the
The
front or
sun
what?
was in my eyes.
Is that what it was? And the wind was against you, was it?
Yeah. And the, you know, the wind was kind of a bit off to the side. I'm getting some fresh coconut. Probably
Are you there?
Coconut. In England they have lemonade and Sprite. Here we have coconuts.
So today they've had sort of Polynesian racing events, and it's great because it comes straight through the anchorage. So it's happening kind of all around us. We're just looking when the best time is to leave, because I've got my dad coming in on Monday, at the early hours on Monday morning. So it looks like we might get a window tomorrow, but the weather's still a little bit ropey, you know, there's still predicted 3 metre swell out there, so I don't really want to go out in that, but we do have to get over there. It's lovely having people come out and visit. It's not like a normal visit, whereas you're just going to be in your home and people are going to turn up at a certain time, or you're going to meet them at a certain place at a certain time. It's all weather dependent, or the weather forecasts are only reliable a few days in advance. And so when people are kind of trying to make advanced plans months in advance, it's very difficult to predict where or when you're going to be. A lot of cruises actually don't have guests coming to see them unless they're actually land-based, because of that reason, because it's very hard to explain to people. Having said that, it's looking very calm now, and so we're going to make some plans, check the tide tables, check the weather, and try and pick a weather window for tomorrow.
Another sad goodbye of lots of lovely boat families that we have been hanging out with. Some we'll see again, most of them Rowan won't see again, because yeah, we're leading up to that time and she's going to be going back to college soon. But so that's the saddest thing really. But it's also always sad to say goodbye to great people, and you do meet great people who live on boats. So yeah, we're just saying goodbye to well, Wave and Ihe, who we've been hanging out with since Shelter Bay, and we'll see them again, but without Rowan. We've met some lovely, we've got Festina Lente, our friends that we met in the Galapagos, and we keep seeing them, and we only get short times with them sometimes, but it's always worth it. And we met the guys on Atia, some new friends which we've been in touch with but just met, and we're going actually along with Osa, who are also heading to Tahiti, so that's nice. And there's also Pachamama, and yeah, I think they're most of the lovely families we've been hanging out with recently. And there's lots of, always cruisers are great people, and you know, you make strong bonds really quickly, which makes it all really special. But here we go now on a 250 nautical mile passage, so it'll be 2 nights and sort of day and a half. We'll be there on Monday to meet Grandads. So it's always nice to get the engine off and just sail, even if it is a bit slower than we expected. Yeah, the wind that was forecast was a lot stronger than this, but it's still enough with our genoa out and our ballooner to get, how many knots we're getting? About 4 knots. And the waves were, yeah, they're big waves, but they're very spaced apart, so it's not causing any major problems. So I hope it stays like that.
We're back on the move again, and it's very light winds. It's gone from very heavy winds for the last few days and actually been storm-bound to dropping to about 6 or 7 knots as it is now. We've actually made the decision to fly the mizzen ballooner through the night, but unfortunately the wind's dropped and the swell's picked up, so it's flogging quite a lot. But it's the only thing that's going to give us any speed. I mean, at the moment we're just doing barely 4 knots. We're not going to make it there in time to pick up my dad from the airport, unfortunately, so I've had to send him a desperate WhatsApp message to tell him to try and book himself into a motel or something until we can get there. We're buddying with 2 other boats on the way to Tahiti. They've just kind of about 3 miles away now, because we've taken a slightly different route and the ballooner up, so we kind of got to go a more downwind route. 12:15, roads coming on watch at 2 o'clock, then Arenka at 5 o'clock, and then I'm back on at 8. It's going to be a long stretch, even though I've got an hour and 3/4 to go. I'm struggling already.
Okay, this is day 2 of our trip from the Tuamotus to Tahiti. That sky looks very stormy. It does not look very nice. So I'm just keeping an eye out, and if we need to drop the sails suddenly, then that's what we will do.
You never dreamt of a lifestyle like this. Well, here's some really exciting news for you. You can have access to comprehensive guidance crafted by us, Arenka and Woody, seasoned world cruisers, yachting instructors and parents. We've taught thousands of people how to sail, and as a cruising family, we've sailed tens of thousands of miles across the world's oceans.
Now you can access that knowledge from our Patreon platform. So, if you want to shift your life from traditional school and work towards boat schooling, remote working, minimalist living, and a remarkable life experience, then find out how by visiting www.mothershipadrift.com or click on the links in the description below. See you out there.
Okay, the wind has been all over the place this morning. It's coming from all different directions, keeps changing, so we keep adjusting the sails accordingly. But I think it's all part of these squalls that are coming through, and they're just making the wind patterns change constantly. But we've had the engine on and off, and now we're sailing, so that's good. But we've got 120 miles to go, so we'll arrive tomorrow sometime. But who knows how we're going to get there, whether it'll be under sail or motor or what. At the moment is we did get the pole out because it was coming from behind, but then the wind came from the beam again. So we've got the main out again, we've got the mizzen out, and a tiny bit of genoa on the pole, which isn't ideal, but it's working. So baguettes are a big thing here because it's French Polynesia, and we also discovered they got delicious butter as well, proper French butter. So baguettes and butter is like the thing at the moment on Mothership. And also jumping with the wave seems to be a thing right now.
Tonight for dinner we're having an old favourite. We just found them at the bottom of the bilge. The cans are going a bit rusty, you know, so we better get in the oven before they spoil. Ray Bentos pies.
Rowan's speaking about going back to England and getting a job interview, so we're trying to if Rowan wants to test her interviewing skills, we're going to make a beanbag travelling thing so she can test her skills. Like, look at this. Hello, I want to get a job at Waitrose.
Shut up, you're not gonna get one anywhere, you dumb 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl. Get out of town.
Yeah, so we're hoping to boost her morale, to make her really want to go back to England and really get a job.
You're fired. Well, 33, and then you go turn right, and then 2 lefts, and then another right, and then you go up the stairs, then you go down the stairs, then you go to the basement. Anyways, then you go up 3 stories high, and then you get to Yacht Hill.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye.
Does that help, Rowan, with your interview skills?
Very helpful.
So after my watch, which is very early hours, then Ewan comes on the early morning watch, and I often sleep in the cockpit. Everybody else can sleep down below, and I think you find that after the first day of not really sleeping well, everybody sleeps really well after about day 2 and day 3.
So this is Tahiti behind me, and we're just about an hour away from Papeete. So the mountainous sharp peaks of Tahiti remind me a bit of the Marquesas. We've just heard that my dad's arrived without his luggage, because the airlines have lost his luggage again. I don't know if you saw the episode in Panama, but United Airlines managed to lose his luggage there, and now the Tahitian airline has managed to lose his luggage this time. So he's a bit stressed out. He's checked into a hotel, and we should be dropping anchor in about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, this is my pinhole camera. You can look at everything upside down.
I'm desperately trying to make a bit more water because the alternator is not working. I've got to rely on solar power. So the sun's just high enough in the sky now to kind of offset the autopilot and the water maker. So a lot of things to sort out in Tahiti. We've got the inmast furler with the magnets broken. We've got a lot of things to replace, like the toaster and the pressure cooker. We've also got to get the alternator repaired, and there's a couple of rips to the sails. I've got to repair the port side winch, and about a dozen other things to do as well. And I've got my dad for 10 days, and then Rowan flies back. Actually, she flies back to college. So yeah, it's going to be an intense few weeks.
Okay, so we just arrived in Tahiti. Well, we haven't actually put the anchor down yet, but when you arrive, you have to call the port control on Channel 12. They're very friendly, and ask permission to enter through the pass. And then when you get through the pass at the South Cardinal, you call them again, because you're at the south part of the runway, I think. So you have to ask permission to pass through the runway. Papeete control, this is Mothership.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Papeete control, this is Mothership. We are just approaching the Southern Cardinal now. That's our position. Over.
Okay, well, copy. I will check the traffic for you and I'll call you back. Stand by.
Thank you, all received.
It didn't go like that, it just stayed up above the water.
Oh, it's lovely. I love it when we get dolphins when we arrive. And then when you've done that, well, we're going to drop anchor around there. But yeah, these things are always difficult to do when everyone's kind of like being noisy and doing other things, and the kids are fighting. But you know, we get there and we get it done, and the main thing is to concentrate. That's what I find, otherwise I forget things. Yeah, we're all ready to go in now. You can watch this happening. Quite narrow parts actually, isn't it? It's a red port and green starboard, isn't it?
Super yacht's really coming for it as well.
Yeah, well, he's got to ask permission, hasn't he? And he hasn't, so.
It's been a super yacht.
Mothership, Papeete for control.
This is Mothership.
Okay, madam, you have 5 minutes to be clear of the east side of the runway.
Okay, so we go now and we have to do it in 5 minutes. Over.
Yes, you may proceed now.
Thank you.
So please do not forget to call me 5 minutes. 5 minutes before crossing the west side of the runway. Yeah?
Okay, we will do that. Yeah. Okay, so we've been given permission to carry on now past the runway, the eastern side, and then we have to call before we get to the western side. But actually we're going to drop anchor in between the two because we've got to pick up someone, Grandad in fact. Canoeing is a very big sport in the Polynesian islands, so you also need to be aware of any canoeists that might be nearby. So the next thing was to do a quick shop and provision before we went to the airport to meet Woody's dads. Okay, I know we haven't been off grid for that long, but I kind of got really excited when I saw all this choice and like green things and just like everything. I just need to stare at it for a while.
How much are the strawberries?
That much.
So $25 for a box of strawberries.
So compare the pineapples here, which are tiny, to the size of the grapefruit here. That's like bigger than my head.
Nice, yeah.
So, collected that from the airport. Welcome to Tahiti.
Hey,
Move over a little bit more. That's it. Yeah, just in the middle, that's it.
use me as a center of gravity.
So stay tuned for more adventures as we sail around the world. If you want to find out how to fix your boat, go to our Mothership maintenance channel, and if you've got any questions you want to ask us, join our Patreon family.
I had a dream last night about a boat. It was pink and green with a stripy mast. It had spotty sails and a golden flag. I said, hey, I had a dream last night